Good afternoon, students. My name is Sharmila Rao Rajput. I'm assistant professor in engineering college taking chemistry lectures. I'm also dealing or taking lectures for UPSC and MPSC. Along with that, we have just started a new collaboration with Ekagraa Academy where I'll be teaching English, which is a compulsory subject comprising of 300 marks. So here, this is just a introductory lecture, or you can see a demo lecture wherein you will know the whereabout of your subject and how you are going to deal with it in the future endeavor. So here, few of the presentation that I have made regarding the lecture. You can just go through it and we'll discuss it in detail. As you can see, the Rajyaseva exam pattern is being changed from 2025. Here, English subject as such is keeping a huge weightage of 300 marks, which is released by Rajyaseva, and it is compulsory subject. Now, compulsory, when it comes, the word compulsion comes, there comes a fear phobia in student, like how we are going to deal with it, how we are going to tackle out the things which are there in English as a subject, because many of you comes from a diverse background. You are not from a convent background, or maybe not from an English medium background. So there is some kind of fear phobia in you to how to cope up with the subject. And here are few simple tricks we are going to just enhance or elaborate our understanding to make it easy for an individual to cope up with the subject. Now, when it comes to English, it is not you need to be very proficient in the language as such. We are just going to handle it as per the requirement of the Rajya Seva examination. And in that regard, we'll just see the next slides. Now, here, the distribution of marks are shown. Qualifying marks are just 25%. So you can just guess of 300 marks, you have to just score 75 marks in English subject. The paper comprises of 3 hours and it is descriptive. Now the edge over here is that word descriptive is not too elaborated by MPSC. It is what is required by you to understand, and how much is to be given back to or do justice to the subject, only that much is required. So let's see, of 300 marks, 25 marks are qualifying marks. So nearly 75% marks is the minimum requirement to get qualified in English as a compulsory subject. Now here, English type of question paper, conventional, descriptive, total marks 300, duration is 3 hours. Okay. Now, usually we discard these instructions whenever we read or when we prepare for any subject, which are very crucial for our preparation. जनरली असं होतं की आपण सब्जेक्टचं प्रिपरेशन करायला घेतो, पण त्या प्रिपरेशनच्या अगोदरचे जे इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स आपल्याला दिले आहेत ते आपण व्यवस्थितपणे वी डू नॉट रीड दॅट. And what is it? These instructions are given to us to simplify our fear phobia and make us ourselves comfortable with the topic. Let us see what are these instructions. Now here it is written, please read the instructions carefully, which we do not do. So first thing is to read the instructions before attempting any questions. Now here, all the questions are to be attempted. That means if you have choice, it will be definitely given to you whether you can choose any options or no. The number of marks carried by question is indicated against it. Wherever options has been given, as I told you in the previous one, options are given to you, but it is been mentioned there whether you are having any options or you do not have any option. So whenever options has been given to you, only the required number of response in the serial order attempted shall be assessed. This indicates if you are opting for any option in a serial wise manner. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you opt all the 4 questions, but you are supposed to opt only 3 of all the 4, here marks will be allotted or given, or your answers will be checked only for the starting 1, 2 and 3 questions. That means even though if you have written 4 as a right answer, it will not be checked or it will not be assessed. If you do not attempt third question, and if you go for 1, 2 and 4, then only fourth will be assessed. If your third is wrong, but your answer will be assessed only 1, 2 and 3, even though if 4 is right. So this is what it is said. Wherever options has been given, only the required number of the response in the serial order. So this is the serial order 1, 2, 3 and 4 shall be assessed unless struck off. If you are in a dilemma that I have written all the 4 answers, but I am in a dilemma, my third answer is wrong. So in that scenario, you can cancel the third. That means you can just struck off the third question. So your questions will be assessed as 1, 2 and 4. Simple. So this is what it is saying. Attempt of a question shall be counted even if attempted partly. As I told you, if you have attempted partly or if you have attempted wrongly, it does not matter. The exam pattern is going to do its assessment as per the instructions given to you. Excess response shall not be assessed and shall be ignored. So, please do not waste your time attempting extra questions unless and until you are left with some time. This statement indicates that there is some time frame that you should keep in mind while you are writing your answers. So in that scenario, this one statement is telling you about your attempts. It is telling you about the timings that you need to code up, and it is also telling you if at all something goes wrong, how you can rectify the wrong done by striking off the answer which is written. I hope things are clear till third statement. Now the fourth statement is saying candidates are expected to answer all sub questions. Now what are the sub questions? If suppose A is the main question, under A you have A, B, C, or you have Roman 1, 2 or 3. If you are having sub questions together, if sub questions of a question is attempted elsewhere after leaving a few page or after attempting other question, the later sub question shall be overlooked. This says if there are sub questions in your main questions, you have to attempt it if you know. If you do not know, please leave space for that. So once you have completed your paper, you can come back to the unvisited question and do justice to it. This is the simple meaning of it. If in case you do not answer the question and you answer it on the some other pages which are very off differently from the second, if suppose first question is attempted on the second page and the same sub question is on the sixth page and you are writing their answer, it is said it will be overlooked. So for the sub questions, if there are 3 sub questions, you can attempt 2, and if the third is not known to you, you can skip it but leave some space blank over there so that you can revisit the question as and when required. Coming to the fifth point, answer must be written in English only. Word limit is very important. Wherever specified should be adhered to it. means you have to compile by it. You are expected to be restricted to the word limit, and if answered in longer or shorter than prescribed length, marks will be deducted. This is very important statement. You cannot write a whole essay for a 5 mark or a 10 marker. Okay. So wherever the marks are allotted to you, whether it is for 5 marks or whether it is for 10 marks, word limit is to be adhered to. If you are not doing so, or if you are not limiting your thoughts to that much word limit, marks will be deducted, and this is very important to be known to all of you. Any page or portion of a page left blank in the answer booklet must be clearly struck off. Here, as I told you, if you left any sub question, you can leave space there. But once you are submitting the paper, you have to overlook your paper and see if at all you have left any space blank. If any of the space is left blank, you please struck off the page or struck off that space to adhere to the instructions given by the examination or given by the concerned body. I hope these instructions are clear to all of you. Let's visit our next slide. Now here, this is the paper structure. Before going or writing any examination, your mind should be prepared in accordance with what you are going to face. So in that scenario, you should know what is the structure of the examination. What is it expecting of you to deal with? For example, as I told you, these are the topics and these are the distribution of marks. In this distribution, your essay, which encompasses of 100 marks, plays a crucial role in the total mark distribution. That means your qualifying marks are 75, and essay itself is talking about 100 marks. So you can just understand how much weightage is given to essay. If you prepare essay along with few of these things which we will discuss in the coming slides, you will be confident to approach to the subject with so innovatively that you will never think or you will never have a phobia regarding it, ki how am I going to do with the subject, whether I am doing justice with the topic or not. So here in essay, it is 100 marks. Comprehension of a given passage, 75 marks. Precise writing, 75 marks. Usage and vocabulary part 1, 25 marks. Usage and vocabulary part 2, 25 marks. In today's lecture, we are going to deal with this essay, comprehension and precise writing. Now, vocabulary and the second part, part 1 and part 2, it will be made easy if you understand these three things. That is your essay, your comprehension and your precise writing. From the word itself, we can say what is essay, what is comprehension and what is precise writing. We will just rule out any difficulty coming to our mind. Usually students does not know what does the meaning of the word is. When you say essay, it has to be indulged with different kind of structure. When you write an answer, it is an answer, whether it is a brief answer or whether you are writing a short note, how that has to be written. So first you need to understand, if this essay is having 100 marks weightage, what should be your approach to writing an essay? Let's see. So I have just shown you essay 100, comprehension 75, precise writing 75, vocabulary 1, vocabulary 2, 25, 25. Now, what is an essay? An essay is a short piece of writing that explores specific topic, presenting the author's idea, arguments, or analysis. This is the general definition of an essay. What it is saying, it is regarding a specific topic. It is about the one who's writing that. That means the author who's writing, you people are going to write the essay. So in that case, you are the author. What idea you have about the topic, that you are going to encode. Arguments, if you think any you can code, you can definitely write that. And finally comes the analysis. This is the body of your essay, or this is how you should program your essay or code your essay, so it will have a proper structure. For example, when we read a newspaper, or when we come through or come across any kind of news, if the news are haphazardly written here and there, introduction in the middle, main content in the starting, and analysis is not at all done, in that case we will not link up what the person is trying to say. So simply, essay writing is just reflecting your ideas to the person who is checking your answer. He wants to see your personality, how you are into your thought process, because whatever we think, we can pen down only when we have clear thought or clear ideas about the topic. So, essay is showing who you are to an individual without meeting that person in person. Whenever we talk, for example, जेव्हा आपण कोणाला भेटतो, our body language is there, our eye to eye contact is there, then how do we talk to them? Our tone matters the most. But here, when you are writing an essay, someone is analyzing you, or someone is trying to know who you are without being coming face to you, without seeing you, by reading your thoughts, or by reading your what you think about your what are your ideas, what are your analysis, he or she will know what type of person you are. And this is what is done. So your personality is reflected when you're writing an essay. It is not about writing an essay, it is about reflecting your personality to the assessing person who is assessing your paper. तो व्यक्ति जो आपल्याला बघत नाहीये, but he is reading what we have written, he comes to know ki what we are. So this is reflection of your personality, which is done by your essay part. Now, what is the purpose of essay? As I told you, explaining or informing. For example, nowadays we have n number of issues coming up, or they are cropping up, whether it is environmental, whether it is social, whether it is scientific, whether it is any kind of science and technology, anything. If a topic is given to you, what do you consider, or what do you think about Waqf board or religious institution? What is your opinion about such kind of bodies existing in a democracy? Okay, what is your opinion? What the bill says? In that case, the person is trying to know, do you know that particular topic? What is the topic? Why that question is being asked? Second, persuading. Before persuading the person, you should encode. These are the few tenets of the given bill. I think the bill is in pro to the government, or it is against. That is your reflection of personality. Analyzing the thing and expressing personal thoughts, experiences, and opinions. Now, experience you can nullify here. Your personal thought and opinion matters the most. Now, your opinion or thought should not be I think so, or it should not be मुझे ऐसे लगता है. When you are giving your opinion, justify your opinion with a reason. That will show that you are clear about your yes, and whether if you're saying no, you're clear about your no's. So your yes and your no's should be justified in accordance with your responses. Overall, later on, finally, analyzing can be done reflecting overall essay. Now here, structure of the essay. Here, introduction, body paragraph, conclusion. Introduction, again, introducing the topic. Second, develop the main topic, providing evidence. Now here, develop the main topics or main points, providing an evidence. Now, from where you can provide evidence? There are certain case studies done by NGOs, okay, then certain governmental organization, okay, or some private organization. So, providing evidence, for providing evidence, you should be pro to something or you should be against to something. If you are pro, you can code up few case studies which you can come across while reading newspaper, while reading different types of magazines, competitive exam magazines, where you can code in if whether you are in favor of that or whether you are not in favor. This shows the person who is checking your paper that the person is having a diverse knowledge about the topic. The person is not only analyzing any topic from a personal reflection, but also analyzing it from social, economical, environmental, and different diverse section. So this gives your overall reflection to an individual topic. Now, summarize the main point, reinstate the thesis, and offers final thoughts or implication. This is very important, showing your final thoughts or implications. When I say final thoughts or implication, for example, you can take Mahakumbh. You can take an example of Mahakumbh. You are asked, if suppose, just write a 5 marks short note on the religious processions that takes place or any religious activities that takes place. Are you in favor of such kind of activities or you are against of such kind of activities? When you are thinking, you should think from a diverse perspective, from a religious perspective, from a social perspective, from environmental perspective, and finally, when you have written everything, you come to the conclusion that I think the work done was good, bad, or not. And this are my suggestions to overcome some kind of negative implications if at all it is present in them. And that is why it is said final thoughts and implication. Sometimes we have a habit of criticizing policies, criticizing any kind of function, criticizing any person, but if you have such kind of, you overcome or you come across such kind of things where you want to criticize, always help or always give up your criticism by giving what you can do to overcome that. This shows your positive approach towards the examiner who's checking your paper. That even though there are few drawbacks, because you as a bureaucrat are not there for criticism, you as a bureaucrat are trying to overcome the drawbacks in different kind of initiatives, in different kind of things which come across. This is what is public service. Public service entitles yourself and make you efficient enough to overcome these drawbacks by giving suggestions and implementing policies which can be overcome. And that is why you have your final thoughts and implications. types of essays. Now, there can be any type. Expository, explains a topic. Argumentative, present a claim and support it with evidence. Persuasive, attempt to convince the reader. Descriptive, paints a picture of place, person, or event. Narrative, it tells you a story. And personal, it tells you the thoughts and personal expression. So, your essays can be expository, where you explain the topic. It can be argumentative, where you claim support to something. Persuasive, where you want to persuade any kind of policy. Descriptive. Now, as of MPSC is concerned, what should come in your essay? It should not be argumentative, but it should be explanatory. You should know what the topic is trying to ask you. You should know the past, present, and the future prospect of that concerned topic. If you are in favor of that statement or whether you are not in favor. If you are in favor, try to convince with a particular viewpoint. Now, again, viewpoint is your personality reflection to the assessor. So, descriptive. Now, persuasive, descriptive, they can be just combined in one. Narrative, it tells a story. We need not have to be too lengthy. So, narrative has some or the other okay sort of it. But your personal thoughts should be very clear about the topic. So, this is how and this is what MPSC is expecting you to deal with the topic. Now, coming to this, Rajyaseva focuses on essay is academic in nature. Academic essays are often characterized by a clear thesis statement, strong evidence, and a logical structure. As I told you, if you are pro to any policy or if you are against to any policy, if you are pro to any work or against to any work, you should have a logical reasoning available to support your thought in the given process. You just simply cannot say yes and just nullify the things. You have to support it with a proper reason. And so that is why it is a clear, there is nothing unclear in it. It is checking your thought, it is checking your personality. So it is a clear thesis statement which is asking you strong evidence and a logical structure. Now, how you are going to prepare this? Now we came to know how the things are. Now the process is preparation, writing, revision. When I say preparation, this means you have to choose a topic. Now, research does not mean that you will give 3-4 months to that topic. No, definitely not. Research is what is the data available, and create an outline. If suppose you are given a topic and you are given 3-4 topic and you know of the 3-4 topic, some topics, one of the topic is social, the other is economical, the other is related to science and tech, or it is related, or the fourth topic is related to environment. The first thing before opting for a topic is preparation. Are you comfortable with science and tech? Are you comfortable with economic topic? Are you comfortable with environmental aspect? Or are you comfortable with any social topic which is going on? For that, if you are a student from arts or commerce background, you may not be comfortable to go with science and tech, even though you have read n number of magazines related to science and tech and everything. But to create a flow process of that, it may not be helpful to you, because even though you have factual knowledge about it, but pen down those things for an essay of 100 marks may not be sufficient to you. So please see the interest where you are interested to. Then you should be in a position to decide whether I am comfortable with environmental topic, social topic, science and tech topic, or any other topic which is given to you. Once that is done, write a draft. Writing a draft means what you can write in that particular topic. First thing, what is that topic? Why that topic is being asked for you in this particular examination? What is the relevance of that topic today? What was the, then coming to the next body of the topic is, what is the past relevance of that topic? Relate that past with the present and your future perspective. And then you can develop your argument or your evidence in favor of it or against it. So it depends upon how you are choosing the topic, how you are structuring the topic, and how you can deal with it in a simplest possible way. Writing an essay, you need not be, it is not expected of you that you should be a writer. It is definitely not expected of you. You are just expected to chalk down few things which you really think about what the topic is. Revision and edit your essay for clarity, organization, and accuracy. This will come only after practice. So, if you think that I have written one essay and I have achieved this, if you think that you have achieved clarity, you have achieved organization and accuracy just by writing two essays or three essays, I will definitely tell you clearly that it is not going to help you. It is a process, and the process is reached once you go step by step to going to coming to the clarity and coming to the final analysis of your topic. Write an essay, give it to the person who is checking your essay. Take the feedbacks positively. Again, make an attempt to write an essay. This will give you an edge over the others. Practicing. So, practicing will help you, because as everything is descriptive now, so practicing will never go fails. Okay, it will never fail you up, and it will be helpful for your other question papers writing as well, because nothing is wasted. You may not think कि ऐसे में इतना time क्यों डालना है, ऐसे में time डालना is will help you in your other papers as well. Comprehension. What is comprehension? Comprehension is the ability to understand, interpret, सर ऐसे थोड़ा बढ़ा दीजिए. Okay, so we were about the process of writing an essay. So I discussed with you the clarity, organization, and accuracy. It is not a one-day process. It is not a one-day thing that you are going to do. That I practiced it for a day or a two, and I'm going to get a clarity and organization or any kind of things. It is not so. You have to practice it every day, or maybe day between. You can take a break and you can practice, but make it a habit. Only habit and practice can give you clarity, organization, and accuracy regarding the topic. Now, coming to the next topic is what is comprehension? Comprehend or comprehension is the ability to understand, interpret, grasp the meaning of the information, ideas, or concept. It involves mental process such as analysis, synthesis, evaluation to make sense of textual visual. Now this may sound very technical to you, but we go to solve a comprehension, but we do not know what is expected of us to do. Here, comprehension means to comprehend what is said in the essay, because there may not be direct question asking or based on the comprehension. Your mental processes such as analysis, synthesis, and evaluation is expected when you do the comprehension part. So this is very clear to you. I have taken few examples. This essay or this comprehension was asked, okay, and based on this essay few questions were asked. Now this we will discuss in the next lecture. If at all, I would like to encourage you to join this session, to join this batch, and just see what progression you can make in the coming time, because the progress that you are going to enroll will be a daily sort of work. Here we will be analyzing your backlogs, you will be analyzing where you are deficit in what kind of things, and things will be very easier. So this was a comprehension. Questions were based on it. I have taken this, but this we will take in the next lecture, where we are discussing also about the precise, what is precise writing, what is summary, what are the do's and don'ts of precise writing. So all this we'll discuss in the next coming lecture whenever we are meeting. So my only encouragement to all the students who are opting for the examination is this: if you really want to get a diverse or a broader perspective on the topic as such, please enroll here and see the difference that will make to you. I'm not promoting that you have to do that, but definitely you're going to benefit from this. Once you come and you do, you join us, you join our team, you are going to make a difference in your career everywhere. So that will be all for the day, students. Thank you for your uh, mm, thank you for your support and everything. Thank you. Good day. Dilip? Yeah, I'm done.